Hey kids, it's April. The wind is blowing extremely hard. It has been blowing for the last 3 days. So we decided to do our video inside. This shed here is our riding arena, and I actually ride quite a bit of horse in the wintertime in here. One of my forms of income in the wintertime or early spring is breaking and training horses for other people. So this shed here, as you can see, is very large and it's got a sandy floor in it. It just makes it nice for riding. But what I've got behind me here, you guys have asked me how many horses I have. I have 3 horses. This is Phil. He's a boy and he's a sorrel. And then back behind him here, this is Heather. Right here, she's a girl and she's a bay. And this is my new one. This is Dugan. And he's probably the prettiest horse I've owned in a long time. His color is a bay roan. He's actually the same color as Heather, only he's got white hair that grows in him. So he becomes a bay roan kind of looking color, which is a very unique and pretty color. Right now, in the cows, we are breeding. We're getting set up. Everything's sorted into their own pens, and the bulls have been turned out. So come next January, we'll start having baby calves. So that's what I'm doing on the cow side, just feeding cows, and it's pretty lax. It's a really slow time of the year for me, which I love, because after calving season, I need a few naps during the day. But I'm going to show you a little bit about horses. Horses play a big part in what I do for a living, because a lot of people use 4-wheelers and other vehicles to work their cows and do stuff, but around here we use horses. So I'm gonna show you guys how to saddle a horse, how I do it. Just started riding Dugan. He's kind of nosy. He likes to get into everything. What I've got here is just a curry comb. I'm just gonna brush him down. They're shedding this time of the year too. I don't know if you guys' dogs and cats shed this time of the year as much as my horses do, but I get a lot of hair off of them every day. What I'm doing here is just brushing him, making sure that where the saddle goes, there's not any stickers or mud or anything like that that's going to irritate him when I saddle him. So I've got Dugan saddled here. Basically what it is 2 saddle pads. Some people use 1, I use 2. It's just a preference and a style kind of a thing. And then the saddle. Basically, what this is think of your saddle pad as like an insole in your shoe. It makes it, you put a new insole in your shoe and it feels really good on your foot. So think of the saddle as kind of like a shoe, and the saddle pad's kind of like an insole. This is all important equipment for what I do around here. I use horses for everything around here. Some guys use 4-wheelers and other ways of doing things, but we do everything on horseback around here. The land we run is really rough, so for a 4-wheeler to be used, it's pretty much impossible, because it's all really like hilly and draws, and there's a lot of creeks running around in the bottom, so it's always constantly up and down, you know, through a creek, through a really muddy spot, chasing a cow around a tree, like just stuff like that. So for me, horses are just a lot handier. This horse Phil here, actually I have him over at the house yard, and in the mornings, if I have a cow or something that I need to do something with or move, I can just throw a halter on him and just ride him bareback like the Indians used to do, and just chase him out. So horses are kind of a big part of my life. I started riding horses when I was 3. I had my own little pony. He was a little pony. Ponies are they have their very own personalities and their mindset of ways of doing things. Horses are a little easier to convince to do things than ponies are. And I don't know if you can come see this right here. This is a hot brand. Hot brands are used all over America, all over the world, to help identify livestock. We use freeze brands on our cows. I don't know if you guys have seen it in some of our videos where my black cows will have a white number. That's their name on them. I think we've talked about it before. But what he has here is, this is called the ranch brand. So this Dugan came from Texas. So say he's in a pasture down in Texas and he got in with like 5 or 6 different guys as horses or whatever. Well, his owner could come out and be like, that horse is mine because he's wearing the 2/3 brand. So it's just an easy way of identification. Make sure it helps, keeps people from stealing your cattle and horses and stuff too. Do you guys know when horses first came to America? Well, I'm going to tell you, because I think it's kind of cool stuff. The Spanish actually brought the horses over in the 15th century when they were exploring North America. And Indians had never seen horses before that. They actually thought they were big dogs when they first saw them because they were tame and they were friendly to people. But when the Spaniards left, they let their horses loose and then they turned wild again. So a lot of the Mustangs that still roam North America in like Arizona and Nevada and the western more part of the North American area, they run back to a Spanish bloodline. So that's kind of cool. So the Spaniards brought horses over in the 15th century, and then Indians started to use them, and then more horses started to come over when people started to immigrate to America. Do you know when cows first came to America? You guys are probably all guessing that it was when Christopher Columbus first came over, and you're right. Cows weren't in North America until Christopher Columbus came over. Buffalo have been here forever, but cows didn't come over until people came over. That's my little history lesson for the day. I think this stuff's kind of interesting. But I'm going to go ride and do some work now. I hope you guys enjoy April. It's really windy, and hopefully eventually here the weather gets nice enough and I can start planting some crops in the field towards the end of the month. That'll probably be what my May video will be about.
He gets up before the dawn, packs a lunch and a thermos full of coffee. It's another day in the dusty haze. Those burning rays are wearing down his body. The diesel's whirring